way to go possibly in this series. We're going to be heading into our next couple of players now. One of these players will be very, very well known to the foreign community because of the Foreign Brood War Discord, so I'll introduce them in just a second, or at least I'll show off their stats. It's going to be Media's Gypsy versus BuLL's Raynor. Now, if we actually have a look at their stats, we'll see how they've been doing so far in the STPL. Raynor, the strongest player on BuLL by far. He did go 4 for 1 last round, 3 for 1 so far this round as well. One of his wins was actually against one of the really good Terran players on White Clan, so he is actually 2 for 2 against Terran. So yes, we are going to have a TVT today, which kind of excites me. I know there's a lot of people that don't like TVT very much, but it's a very strategical matchup. Now we're going to be heading into with Media. They're going to be sending out Gypsy. Now Gypsy, not necessarily an old member of Micromedia obviously, but joined them more recently, has been putting in a lot of work for them. Currently 3 for 2 this round. He actually lost to TT1 in the last game, unfortunately, but he's going to be back for a little bit of revenge here. It is going to be a TBT, and it's going to be on Athena. Now Athena should be a very, very fun map for a TBT to be on. Now, as long as Gypsy doesn't cheese again, we could be going into a fairly long macro game. Now, I would say three-player maps are some of the best for TBT, and I'll explain why in just a second as we get into the game here between BuLL's Raynor and Media's Gypsy. Okay, starting in the 9 o'clock position, we do have the yellow Terran playing for BuLL. It's going to be Raynor. And his opponent spawning here in the top right position, we do have the blue Terran fighting for Media. It's Gypsy. Now, one thing I just want to say about TVT on this map, obviously it's a 3-player map, so there's only one other spawn. And now the reason why 3-player maps I think are the best for TVT is there is no way to get a perfectly even split. You've got a natural and a main. These two bases are going to be the most important bases on the map. Now, if you were to look at a perfect split on this map, you would say, take your line up here, you'd have a siege line here, you'd have a siege line through the middle as well, you'd have 2 bases of contention in the 2 mineral onlys, and these 2 bases at the top would be contested. Now, the same could be said, I mean these are both gas bases, but they're half gas bases, or at least one of them is, and then a big gas base. And the natural and the main are going to be under contention as well. Now these are 2 full gases, so they're arguably the most important place on the map. This base and this base definitely will go to Gypsy. It's likely this base and this base will go to Raynor, but I mean obviously it depends on what exactly we're going to see. Now we are going to see racks into gas here by Raynor, so over here we're going to see the same thing from Gypsy. So good start to a possible long macro TBT here, so that kind of makes me excited. I'm getting nerd chills, as Artosis would say. It's been a long time since I've seen, well, actually it's not. There's been quite a few really good macro games in TBT in the SCPL round 3, but in SCPL round 1 a lot of the teams minus White and Soul didn't really have a Terran, so it was like 99.9% chance that you wouldn't see a TBT. Round 2, a few teams joined with Terrans in, like Media of course have a good roster of Terrans, but then you kind of had other situations as well where teams like Rev, teams like IRK, they picked up Marwin, Rev obviously picked up the camper, Kiri joined DM, and a bunch of other Terrans joined. So there's been a lot more chance of getting TBT, which is a lot more exciting for me as a Terran player with TBT as his favourite matchup overall, because it gives me a little bit more to look forward to. And I would say TBT is probably the matchup I'm most knowledgeable about, because I've spent so many hours watching pro TBTs, like, for days. It's so good. But obviously, yeah, lots more Terrans, lots more TBT. I mean, BuLL, their main roster realistically contains about 3 Terrans. 3 of them get a lot of play. There's Flymeo, Raynor. Rev obviously picked up Medinho. He's obviously a very, very strong Terran player that we see. He did obviously host me a little bit earlier, so huge shout out to him. But gypsy going into his factory. Factory's kind of synced up here. Raynor's a little bit further behind. And the big difference is here that Raynor actually pulled off gas. Meanwhile, gypsy carried on gas for a while. So gypsy not actually going into a command center just yet. Looks like he is going to be pushing in with his Marines, with his SCV. And then we are going to see a command center coming up over here. Gypsy, with those 3 Marines, going to be doing a little bit of damage. The Vulture on the way here, though, is going to help defend against this. But when this Vulture comes in from Gypsy, it's going to be an entirely different story. He's going to need to get repairing. You can see he's trying to micro down these Marines as fast as humanly possible. And now does need to be careful. A little bit hard to out micro Marines. Now he needs to pull some SCVs to repair this Vulture, or he will take a lot of damage. And there's the first SCV there. Vulture moving back into the red line. Going to get a good repair off there. So not too much damage done by Gypsy. And the big problem is that's actually delayed his command center by quite a lot. So Raynor definitely with at least the economical advantage for now. Raynor did manage to hold off that or stave off that attack with fewer units. He is actually going to have 1 less Vulture as well because he did go for a machine shop first. Thank you very much for the follow. Warren Gita, I think I said your name right. But cheers, that does mean a lot. The barracks obviously going to scout that this command center is coming up. Gypsy's barracks a little bit later. It looks like he slowed that down for a little bit, I think, for some reason. Maybe stopped it by accident. But Raynor going into a second factory as well. So relatively mirror builds, but a few slight differences. We see Gypsy going for a very, very quick armory. I mean, 5 minutes is kind of when you want to get your armory in TBT if you don't really know what your opponent's doing. Obviously, Raynor has seen that there's this. He's seen that there's no starport with his SUV, so that's a very, very big thing. And you can see that Gypsy, in worry of double starport, is actually going to be going into an engineering bay as well. The trouble is, Gypsy actually moved up and didn't scout the command center. That was really well hidden there by Raynor over on the left-hand side. Now, this barracks is going to burn down, so he's going to need to add another factory soon if he does want to go into that. Otherwise, he's going to have to remake his barracks. We've got the armory coming in for him as well, but a tank and 2 vultures should be enough to hold on against gypsies. Now, what upgrade is Gypsy going first? There's a 50% chance this is mines, and I think it's going to be, yeah. So mines first. Unfortunately, this barracks is going to go down. It didn't really do too much. Kind of surprised he left that there for long enough, but Gypsy's barracks is going to get another scout coming in. Huge thank you, Tirafist, for the follow as well. Welcome to the STPL community. Hopefully you enjoy the games. Obviously, you're watching a TBT on Athena 2 at the moment, but here we go. Looks like Raynor is going to push out onto the middle of the map. The tank's going to be doing a lot of damage, but does need to be careful of these mines. Oh, the mines! Oh, that was a good little bit of target firing there by Raynor. Does keep his tanks alive, but Gypsy is actually wasting a lot of mines. Now, with mines early on when you're going vultures, what you really want to do is spread them as far out as possible. But, oh, that was close. But the big problem... Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, huge mines! Oh my god, that could not have gone any worse for Raynor. And the clumped up mines actually saving Gypsy there. That was a strong push, which would have taken a lot of map control. But that mine was massive. That killed 2 tanks. That's been basically everything that Raynor's been trying to build up to now. He can't build another factory yet because he's not rebuilt his barracks. It looks like he's going to go into double starport. No, he's going to build a barracks and a depot. I thought double starport would have been a little bit better there because he's going to be really far behind in the tank count moving forward. Now, we obviously do only have 2 tanks for each player, but Gypsy already on double tank production does have this 3rd factory as well. And you can see the map control that Gypsy is trying to exert at the moment, the kind of pressure on the map that makes it very difficult in TBT. This map, obviously, you can push across the small bridge and kind of secure a 3rd and 4th base, but realistically, you don't want to... Oh my god, another mine! Oh, that was so close. He needs to be so careful. We don't have any scanners because he didn't get an academy before his barracks burned down either. So, I mean, Raynor is living on a literal knife edge trying to push through this map right now. And I mean, he is getting a good engagement with the vultures. But what about the tanks here? This is going to be 4 siege tanks outside of his base. Siege mode looks like it has finished up. And he does have the benefit of being able to push onto... Oh, that's a big mine, though! That's the kind of mine hits he wants. And, oh my god, that's another mine going off, though, for Gypsy. Gypsy in a very, very good position with the siege tanks. Obviously, a lot of them very badly hurt. Now, Gypsy is actually without scanners as well for the moment. They're only now just coming in. And the tanks are forced to move back because of this. Now... Raynor is pushing forward. I don't even think he has siege mode yet. No, he doesn't. So, I said he was living on a knife edge before. He's actually living on the ultimate knife edge now. Because he is going to be using unsiege tanks against siege tanks. And I mean, just look at the map presence from Gypsy. He is completely trapping Raynor in his base. Now, Raynor going to try and make usage of this bridge that I mentioned before to go around. And realistically, there's not actually that much defense back here. Now, can Raynor pull Gypsy's tanks back? Or is this rally... Oh, wow, there's actually not going to be any units coming out. They've just come out of the factories now. And Raynor, unfortunately, not going to be able to do too much damage. The mines going to slow down these additional tanks for now. But that's not the kind of moves he needs. He needs to do SCV damage. Now, Gypsy is going to take a third base now behind this. And he is in such an incredible position. Gypsy moving forward. The tanks of Raynor not siege up. A good mine going down. Oh, nice actual, nice targeting there on that tank by this one. Gets a really good kill there. But Raynor is going to have to do something about this. He's slowly pushing forward. Another tank does go down. Another tank going down as well. And Gypsy with superior positioning here, actually taking down a lot of these tanks. The repair, though, doing so much work. And the vision actually wore out for Gypsy there. That could have been a big move. But you can see the SCVs are repairing once again. The trouble is, still 2 factories here for Raynor. He's going into a 3rd factory, but he's up against 5 fac now. This is not a position you want to be in. He can't take a 3rd either. Gypsy is actually taking the 2,000 gas space as 3rd. A little bit of a mistake there. But there are 2 wraiths finally out, so he did get some usage of his gas. Takes down one of the Goliaths. Is not going to be able to take down the tanks, but that is going to give him the vision advantage, as well as these 2 buildings, so that's something. But Gypsy looks like he knows he has enough. He's pushing forward. What is the target firing like for Raynor? Is he going to be able to take down any of these tanks? It doesn't look like he is. The tanks getting on top of the natural, and GG! Gypsy takes down Raynor with superior positional play and a great mine to start him off. So, not only does Gypsy take that game, but he also takes us in to a game number 5. So we're going to have an ace match coming up after this, which are going to be pretty sick. I'm just going to report the game in my overlay and everything, and we can get in there, load up the next replay, just while you guys have a nice look at the intro. See you guys in just a minute.